Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne Keyser and I'm your over 50s fashion diva. Here on my channel, I cover obviously fashion, but also beauty, lifestyle, travel, and anything that's trending in any of those areas. If you're looking to stay relevant over 50, then you're in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be creating this makeup look for Valentine's Day. Just because we're over 50 doesn't mean we can't do a full beat for Valentine's Day, right? That's what today's video is gonna be all about, creating this incredible sparkly eye look for Valentine's Day. So let's get started and beat this face. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that I have already done my skincare and I added a little bit of this e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balm, and this is in the shade Boss Berry. I actually keep it here on my desk and use it throughout the day. It's not the greatest product or whatever, but I hate to waste products. So I'm gonna start with primer. And for this, since it is like a special occasion situation, Valentine's Day and all. By the way, I do have my little neon lips behind me today instead of my hello sign. Unfortunately, it's so tiny that you're not going to be able to see it as I do my makeup, but it's there. We're going to start with again, it's a special occasion, so that's when I bust out my Hydro Grip primer. I cherish this stuff. I use very little of it because one, is expensive. And two, it's the best on the market. Everyone knows, ask any makeup artist. Now, I have not tried and I would like to get, and I don't know how I'm gonna get it all the way to Belize, but I would actually like to get Nikki Tutorials Nimya. Listen, Nikki is the queen of primer, so I'm sure her primer is amazing. I will have to get some here to Belize, which won't be easy, but I am dying to try it. Now, before I go to the eyes, which I'm gonna start first, so in case there's any real fallout, I'll be able to clean it up and, you know, only just have to reapply a little bit of primer. We're going to move on to a smidgen, the smallest amount possible of setting powder. I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty in the shade Kunafa. And I mean a tiny amount of powder. The only reason that I want to set the primer with powder because I'm doing my brows, and even though that's pretty tacky, I still just want to eliminate just that little bit of slip that might be on there. I'm going to, I mean, literally, there's barely anything in here in the top. So I'm going to take that and dust that off, like not even that much. I'm gonna get it into the bristles of the brush, but I'm knocking all that off. Look, you barely see any powder on there, right? I just want to basically just kind of dot it over everything and really focus it over the brows. But while you got the powder, just set everything. And you know, us ladies over 50, we can't be going crazy with powder. That is it. I mean, you can barely see anything, right? Now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and for that, I'm going to use this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown. I'm sure you guys all know this pencil. I was going back and forth between that and the dip brow. I haven't used this in so long, and I know it may be a little bit dried out. It's been a while since I've used this. Let's try this. Let's give this a whirl, girl. See what we can accomplish with the dip brow. I haven't used it in so long. I'm actually gonna use this Fenty. This is the What It Do refreshing spray. I'm gonna spray just a little bit. See what I can do to get it a little softer. See what we can do with this guy. I'm such a pencil girl. This is not really what I want. It's not horrible, actually. I better close it up. I just realized I'm like, I should close this up now that I've sort of rehydrated it a bit. And that's looking good. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the other brow off camera and be right back to sort of carve out the brow. Use that as a primer for the whole lid, and we're gonna go from there. All right, brushing them through. Going to brush them up just a little. I should have zoomed you all in for that whole segment. So now I'm going to carve out the brows. For that, I'm going to use just a small brush. Let's see. Little shadow brush. And I'm going to use, this is the Pro Filt'r Concealer in the shade 300. That's what she looks like. I'm gonna start with just a little swipe on the lids like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and conceal the entire lid. I want to do the lid first. I want to go down first before I start blending up, because then it'll just be less product up there. Now that there's a lot less product, because if you started with the brow bone first, then there would just be so much product you would end up having to blend it down. So now we've got a lot less product up this way, so it'll be a lot easier to carve out the brow since there's so little product. If you needed a little more product, you can always pick some up from down here or from the other eye. If you really need a lot more product, you can just dip into the other eye and go in. But this actually is just enough for me, what I already had. Don't forget to get the inner corner of the eye, sort of blend it into the nose area like that. Nice and smooth, ready for a little bit of powder and start on with the shadows. I'm excited about that. All right, be right back after I finish blending this eye. With that same original brush, this is a Morphe brush, by the way, that we used to set the primer. We're gonna use that same exact brush, and we're gonna set the brow as well as the concealer on the lid. Again, just like boop, that much and knock that off. Get it in the bristles. It should look like there's hardly anything on there. Tap out your concealer. As you can see, it's a very thin layer, just to sort of hide any discoloration that you might have on the lid. And mostly just to give us a little bit of something for the eyeshadows to stick to. I'm really mostly setting the brow. Now we're gonna move on to shadows. And I have two eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be working with. To be honest with you, I haven't mapped this out. I really have no idea what I'm going to do with the eyeshadow look today. It's gonna be a mystery, but you saw it at the top of the video. Move these brushes out of the way and bring in the big tub of brushes. Now, I wanted to do a halo eye, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Gonna be working with the Juvia's Place. This is the Masquerade palette. The Masquerade Mini. It's got some gorgeous shades in it. And I think I'm gonna be working a lot out of this palette, but I also have as a backup palette my Juicy Boost. This is by Colored Raine, and I love this palette so much. It has some great shades in it, and it's not just one layer of shadows, it's actually two with a mirror. I mean, love this palette. Look at these colors. As you can see, she's been used, she's been loved. Oh, there's some good colors in there too. I'm just looking for a really light transition shade, and I don't know that this one is gonna give it to me. But I also have this contour palette that I'm gonna be working with as well, my LA Girl. This is the Color and Contour by LA Girl. It says blush. But I think that there could be a good starter transition shade in this palette. This lighter shade here, between this and this, I may mix the two. We're gonna start with a big fluffy brush. This is a big Morphe brush, nice big shadow brush. I lost my moment there, but you know, as we get older, ladies, we lose all kinds of stuff. We lose our memory like crazy. All right, I'm just going to start that as a transition shade, really light. Buff that in. I'll probably do one eye, especially when it comes to the rhinestones. I'm sure that I will do that off camera because, like I said, I have not mapped this out at all, and I have no idea how I'm gonna place them, what I'm gonna do with them. I'm really just winging it, quite literally. All right, we've got a nice little transition going there. Make sure we're bringing it out. And you know, us ladies over 50, you don't need to close your eyes as much. You really want to do most of the work with the eye open so that you can really see where you're placing it. I am concentrating that shadow right there at the brow, front of the brow, and blending it out. Keeping your brush nice and soft. I'm still working with the new camera. Like, I was doing a walk yesterday to try to do some video outside to see what kind of settings I needed to do for that. And as I was trying to set it, I just completely could not figure out where my setting was. to turn it to daylight. So I'm still working with it. I will get there. I think I'm gonna start with the light shades in the Juicy Boost palette and work my way up. Because, you know, once you place that dark, you can't take it back. It's easier to darken up a light as opposed to the other way around. So I think I'm gonna start with, this is the shade Cranberry Vanilla. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance on at least a shade that dark. I have this Aveda shadow brush, and it's wide and flat. So it's not a fluffy brush, it's more of a placement type of a brush where you're placing the pigment as opposed to buffing in the pigment. Does that make sense? I'm gonna start with putting this all over the lid. I'm gonna start there. And up to the crease. Fingers crossed, this is gonna work. Pray for me. I'm gonna leave a little bit of the front, you know, more the tear duct area. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that open. Patting it on and then sweeping it. Can you see that? You want to place the pigment first. And then you can blend it if need be. Now that I have that, the movable lid covered, I want to open the eye and look at where I'm gonna place it as you go to that crease, because I don't know if you can tell, but I've got that fold there. So I'm going just above that. And you can, you know, go back if you need to, if the skin isn't as taut. But, you know, first start off doing it with the eye open. I'm taking it all the way into the lash line. And that a good trick for that is to put the head back, look down into your mirror, your eyes still open, and you can get it right into that lash line. Ladies, you know, us over 50, the skin is not the same, so we have to do things differently. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to just go back in with my transition shade and buff out the side. Again, we haven't done our face yet, so if we need to do cleanup, we can do that. I am just dying to use this color. I just want to use this color so badly. A small shadow brush. This is an Aveda. This, I think they call it a small eyeshadow brush. Now, I'm going to place this on the outer corner. Pray for me. See how it goes. Yeah, I like this shade. But I'm definitely gonna have to build it up way more to get the intensity that I want. And these color Raine shadows are very pigmented. I'm only going sort of midway to the eye. If I'm looking directly at my eye, I'm going right to the dark part of the eye and going up. I'm only going that far over. Does that make sense? And we're still creating our little C shape. I'm sorry, our V shape. You can do a C shape too if you want to do a more rounded look. Just depends on what you want to do. I like the way it looks. I did blend it out. I went back in with both brushes, did a little bit of blending into those colors, and then also went back into my transition brush, and as you can see, there's a little bit of pink on there. Basically tickling that edge just to blend it out so it's not such a harsh line, like that. But I am looking at this color in the Juvia's Place palette, this one here. It has a lot of shimmer to it, which is why I wasn't sure if I wanted to use that color. But I think I am. I think I'm gonna go in with that color, but I'm gonna use a different brush just in case I need to go back to that first color for some blending. Another flat Aveda brush. I'm going to pick up that shade, and of course I'm gonna put all the shades and all the products that I'm using in the description box for you. And I'm just going right on the lid with that shade. That's so pretty. I basically just covered up that first shade. But when I go to do the other eye, I'm still going to use that original shade. You do just the pink that we just used. If you go on this eye and do just that pink, they're not gonna be even. You have to go into that cranberry vanilla shade first, then go over the shade with the Bori. Then I wanna go back to this Zobo is the name of the shade here. And I'm just tapping back into it just a little bit because we want to blend those together. Let me beat this into submission, and when I get it blended properly, I'll be right back. I was off camera. I went into the shade Giza, shade here, and I just added it to the inner corner of my eye and then blended all the colors that are around it. No extra product on the brush, just blending everything together. Go back in with that transition brush. I actually wiped off all the product. I'm just blending out the edge. That's what our eye's looking like so far. I love the transition. And now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye and come back once I'm ready to do the install of the rhinestones. The crystals. I actually think that I did a better job on this eye than the first eye. I don't know. But like they always say, they're supposed to be sisters, not twins, right? That even includes eyes, not just your brows. Now I'm ready to move on to the face for now. I'm going to come back to the eyes in a little bit. Hands are washed. I'm going to go in first with this GlamGlow. This is the GlamGlow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer in the shade Nude Glow. And this really is just to give it that glow underneath the skin, you know what I mean? I love the smell of this stuff. I love this because one, it does give a really nice glow, but also because it smells like baby aspirin. But it'll just give you that slight glow under your makeup. It is really hydrating. Don't forget your neck. right, I'm gonna move on to contour. I decided before I do the whole face, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the rhinestones first, the crystals first, and do the lashes. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Otherwise, it's going to, as I'm trying to place the lashes or the crystals, whatever, I'm probably gonna disturb my makeup. So let me just go ahead, do those off camera, and then I'll come back and let you know what I did. I should say, if you've never placed crystals, all I'm going to be using is just my Duo Lash Glue. And I haven't decided if I'm gonna go in with these large pink crystals. I've got some in here as well. Some of these pink crystals here, or some smaller red ones. I'm not sure. Whatever I do, I will let you know once it's done, and I will be right back. I've completed all the crystals and I added a lash. I used these Eyelure London lashes. But now we're ready to move on to the face. If you saw any of my last makeup tutorials, I am using this Kat Von D. This is a sample of the Locket, and this is in the shade Deep 85 Warm. And you need so little of this product. I've been using it, just this little sample has gone a long way. I'm just gonna contour the face. I'm gonna go in with this little e.l.f. blush stick. And again, I'll put the shade, because I don't want to keep taking my glasses on and off. It's starting to get to be a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna add a little of that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we're not gonna blend it in just yet. A little on the nose. Then I'm gonna go in with this Flower Beauty contour concealer in the shade Vanilla. Oh, actually, let me do my Fenty first. The same Fenty that we used for our lids. I'm gonna put a little of that down. And then I'm gonna go in with the flower just on the inner corner. Just to lighten it up just a little bit in there. And then I'm gonna let that dry as I blend out my blush. I'm just gonna use my finger for that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm gonna go in, this is the Danessa Myricks Skin Tint, Serum Skin Tint in the shade 9. Just a little bit of that. Get a good foundation brush. I'm gonna use this flat label brush. As you can see, it is kind of runny. And then we're just gonna apply the foundation. Concealer should be ready to blend. I'm gonna blend that out. You can use the same brush. Starting with the darker shade, blending that out. Like Michaela says, get those edges sharp. little bit down the nose as well. While I've got product on the brush, I'll be right back into the LA Colors blush palette. Get us a nice little blush brush. This is a Laura Geller angled brush. And I'm just going to, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of this blush here. Woo, always forget how pigmented this blush palette is. To go back in with that original brush, blend that out. It still has that tiny bit of powder in the bristles. Blush is done. Let's see, I'm gonna add some highlight. I was gonna add this Fenty. This is the Diamond Balm in How Many Carats. I love this highlighter. It's one of my favorites. Right on the top of the cheekbones. This is a blinding highlight. Make no mistake about it. All right, let's do the under eyes now. I'm gonna tap back into our dark purple shade. And I'm just gonna run that from the outer corner to the middle. Actually, that's like 3/4 of the way over. Then we're gonna go in with that light shade that we use for the inner corner on the top. And we're just going to go from the inner corner and blend out that shade. Don't forget the tear duct. Then I'm gonna go in with the brush that I use for my transition and just soften the edge. There's no extra product. We're just softening and blending the two shades together. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Sky High, and I'm just going to do the bottom lashes, and we're almost done. Because we're over 50 doesn't mean we don't still need to set that under eye powder. So I'm gonna go back in with my Huda Beauty and a little powder puff. I'm going to, first I'm gonna get rid of any creasing. And we're gonna set the under eye with just that much powder will be more than enough for both eyes. Make sure the creases are out and set. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to set that powder, keep it from creasing on us. And then I'm just going to take same brush. There's nothing in the pan. And I'm going to set it with some Ben Nye setting spray. This is in a totally different brush, but I'm gonna do a setting spray here. And then I'm going to pat my powder over it. That will completely set the face. The Ben Nye If you buy the big bottle, you'll know it doesn't come with its own sprayer, so you have to put it in its own container. So I just use my Mario Badescu.
3 hours later.
I finished the completed look, but I am going to do a little bit of touch up because I filmed some other content, some outfit of the day, get ready with me content. I am just going to blot my face a little bit. But when I left off, I was talking about doing some powder, a very small amount, and I am gonna do that, but instead of doing it with the puff that I actually did under the eyes earlier, I'm gonna do it with a big fluffy brush. And that's where I left off. The only other thing I did was I did line the waterline with this black pencil here. This is the LA Girl Perfect Precision eyeliner in the shade Very Black. That's what that looks like. Told you that I used my Maybelline Sky High to do the bottom lashes. I also finished the lip, and to do that I used the Essence Stay 8-Hour Lip Liner. It's a waterproof lip liner, and this is the shade I Am Shooketh, and that's what it looks like. Then I went in with Revlon. This is the Shine. I guess it's just called New Shine in the shade Glassy Ruby. This is what it looks like. Gorgeous. I wanted a red, but I didn't want a bold red. I started off with a bold red and I didn't like it. I dulled it down with that one. And that's the lip. Going in with the Huda Beauty one more time. And I put that much on, which is too much. So I'm gonna put some back in here. Take my cap, distribute the product all over the brush so that it's barely any product. You probably can't even see any product. And I'm just gonna go over everything. Again, this is my touch up, but I did this before. I did go over just a smidgen of powder. Set my brows. Make sure I'm not crazy shiny. And then I finished it with another spritz of the Ben Nye. And I'm telling you, that setting spray will set your foundation of your house, okay? It's like serious setting spray. I only use it either doing a client for a shoot or for their wedding or something like that. I use it a lot on clients, but for me, it's only for special occasions because it is so expensive. I mostly just try to use it on clients because I have other setting sprays that I like just as much, but when I need like for it to last through a date night or a special occasion that I know I'm not gonna have time to touch up every few minutes, that's the setting spray I use, and it's the Ben Nye. I will leave the information for you in the description box. But that's the whole look, you guys. What do you think? Highlights good. Love the lashes. I think that this eye came out better. So let me just take all my photos with this one eye. That is gonna do it for this video. This is the Valentine's Day look. I hope it gave you some inspiration for your Valentine's makeup. And yeah, this is what us babes over 50. Just because we're over 50 doesn't mean we can't still look hot on Valentine's Day. Whether we have a date, no date, we're just going out and having wine by ourselves, whatever the occasion, could definitely be a look for you. But thank you all so much for watching. I do hope that you will subscribe to my channel. Make sure to follow me. I'm mostly on TikTok, a little bit on Instagram, but that is the best place to find me outside of YouTube. Also, I will, like I said, leave all the information of what products I used in the description box for you. And I hope that you will leave a comment and let me know, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Do you have a date night? Is it just gonna be you by yourself? Are you going out alone? I would love to hear all about it. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love you all have been showing to my videos and to my channel. It's just been amazing. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And until next time, you better believe it. Bye.